Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Saturday, March the 10th, and welcome to our video commentary. You know, last week I mentioned in my blog that John Zogby had put out a brand new poll. John Zogby, of course, is a pollster here in the United States, a good reputation pollster, and he put out a new President Trump approval number at 48 or 49%, something like that. But what's interesting about his poll is when you went into the numbers, and he had President Trump at 39% with Hispanics, which is a pretty good number for a Republican seeking re-election. You may remember that back in 2004, then President Bush had, depending on what study you look at or what poll you look at, he had anywhere from 40 to 45% approval in the Hispanic community. So, you know, 39 is a very good number, particularly when you realize that he started at like 27 a year ago. So he's moving in the right direction, and we'll keep an eye on that to see where it goes. Does it stay there or maybe inch up a little bit? But right now, President Trump is in a good standing with Hispanics, at least as far as this poll from John Zogby. And by the way, the poll from John Zogby is based on likely voters, not just adults or registered voters, but likely voters, which is always the best measurement for any polling sample. So 39 is a good number. And then you look at the jobs report that came out yesterday, and you see that we now have the lowest unemployment rate among Hispanics in quite some time. In fact, it's going down and going down very nicely. So when you put these two together, maybe there's a connection here. Maybe Hispanics are beginning to appreciate more the economy and beginning to associate the growth in jobs and the better economy with President Trump. Again, it's too early to tell, and we got to look at more information than just one poll. But I think there is a connection. There is a connection about that, and I think it emphasizes something very important that often gets lost in the media coverage. So much of the media coverage, particularly the Hispanic media, the Spanish-speaking media, I should say, so much of their coverage is focused on immigration, DACA, immigration, DACA, immigration, that they tend to forget that most Hispanics in the United States are not really impacted by immigration or by DACA, that most Hispanics are here legally, and that they have the same concerns and the same attitudes about the economy as does everybody else. So when the economy is going up, the general population supports the president. And I'm assuming it's only fair to assume that the same thing happens in the Hispanic population, and I think it probably will. So we'll keep an eye on these numbers. As I say, I don't like to jump to sudden conclusions based on one poll, but Zogby has a good reputation for polls. He has a good reputation for getting it right. And of course, the numbers that came out on Friday were good numbers. 313,000 new jobs, 67%, I think, participation rate, which is a number going up. And I think the unemployment rate stayed the same. But I always look at the participation rate as a sign of whether or not people are actually looking for work, because I think that's a more important number many times than the unemployment rate. But all the numbers that came out on Friday looked pretty good. You know, there's never a perfect jobs report, as you know. We can always, you know, dissect this and dissect that. But I think overall, it was a good jobs report. And looking at the analysis coming from different economists and so on, I think they would agree that it was a decent jobs report. Well, thank you for watching. We have all of these over at YouTube. We have them on Twitter, and we have them at my blog. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.